Hey guys, well, it's the first, I believe it's the first Sunday in September. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, I have been cutting all kinds of stuff. I'm trying to get this wood planed, the stuff on top of that thing over there is planed and can go into the greenhouse, but I've been so busy I'm having a hard time getting to where I want to go here with everything. I was up at the house this morning, and the guy's working today that I hired up there because he has a lot of work that he needs to get done, and he might not be able to come here during the week. He might have to come on weekends. The good thing is he only has a day or two of work up there yet, and he'll be done with the molding part. Right now I'm cutting spindles. You can see 2x2s there. This wood was sitting up at the house for 2.5 years, so I'm going to consider it, it's not totally dried, it's down somewhere, I don't know, around 19% or so. So over the next couple of days I'm going to be cutting these into spindles so that I can put them on the railing up there, and then I'll have him come back and do that work. So I'm working with the sawmill here today just to recut this, or the resaw. So I want to show you the spindles I got out of this red oak. They are magnificent. You know, I put away the right stuff, and now I have some good things to look at here. I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, so I'm in the garage, and I'll just step back for a second. Now, I think you remember that stack was about this high, so I've come down on it some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So there's 19 more layers of wood to get out of there. And there's some pretty nice stuff here. I'm getting down into that ash. This is ash here, white ash, this big wide boards, so they're looking pretty nice, and they're stayed flat, so we'll see what we got. But what I want to show you is, take a look at these spindles. Now, they're not perfectly straight, so there's a couple crooked ones, but boy, I'll tell you what, if this isn't magnificent wood, red oak, I don't know what is. This stuff is very nice. So, yeah. So I got 32 of them there cut. Now there's probably, I don't know, I'll guess at about 2% that I might not be able to use. Like this one has a little knot in it there. I don't care about a little knot, but like this one has a little bit of a bend to it. We'll have to see what happens when we get it up there. Some of these that I took off, actually this is wasn't even red oak here. These couple are not wait a second, these two are red oak, these are not over here. These are red oak, but they're too small. So anyway, I'm cutting pretty much the same size. I'm off at the most because of the variations in the wood and stuff. I'm probably off about 1/4 at the most with the thickness and the width, and I'm not going to worry about that because the kind of handrail we're putting up there, I'm going to make it so that it's flush on one face, and that's all that matters. And I'll have this polyurethane, and they're looking really good. The molding and stuff is exactly what I wanted up there. I mean, I could have done 100 different things, but what I did was what I wanted. So I need to cut a bunch of these. I need about 100 spindles for upstairs. So I'm going to work at getting them cut this week. Since it's Sunday, I really did not want to work today. And I have to tell you, Bullseye, come on. Come on. Get in here. Get in. Go. He wants to go out, but I want to cut these boards quick. Yeah, it's Sunday, and I really needed a break. So I was going to take a break today, but since he decided to come work, I decided I would do whatever he needed. And I took he needed one more board up there, so I took a board up this morning, polyurethaned it, and that should do him for what he needs. And like I say, I just want to get these boards on here and get them cut down to 2 inches so I can make spindles out of them. So I have a lot more of this stuff up at the other house, but I didn't want to be fooling around up there while he's in and out doing stuff. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm doing here exactly. So what I have here is these are 2-inch thick boards, as you can see, and I'm just putting them on the sawmill and cutting them down to 2 inches. That's all I'm doing. And then I cut them down to 2 by 2, and then I put them on the miter saw and cut them down to 40 inches or 48 inches, which is not the length. That's a little long, but when you have a bend in the wood, sometimes a longer board you can pull a straight piece out of it somewhere. But anyway, I'm cutting them down to 48 inches to make 2 spindles, and then I'm putting them through the planer to clean them up. So that's where we're at. And that board that you're looking at, that's pretty clear. I don't know if there's any knots in it. There might be a knot maybe here, but it's amazing how beautiful the red oak comes out as you start cutting. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing here this morning for a little bit. All these boards, and I don't know if you remember or not, but were all put away 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. In hopes of making the spindles. And now the time has come, and they're looking for the pieces. I don't know if you can tell, the truck is wet, but the rest of the stuff here is kind of muddy. It's not real bad, but bad enough. So I'll be cutting these to 2 by 2s, and like I say, with the rest of the process to make the spindle. here cutting this top off is just to level them up so when I cut them, they're all the same size. Because they've dried differently, and there's a couple of wider boards here. That first one was a little wider than the other. So now I got them all even, so I'm going to be able to just cut 2x2s out of what I have there. It hadn't rained last night, the rope is wet on this thing, and that's the only time that I have trouble with it, is when the rope kind of slips a little bit when it's wet. But other than that, it's cutting good. The only difference between cutting this, these boards are definitely dry. They're probably down to, I would say, 10% moisture, if that. And they're very dry. So cutting them is a little harder than when you cut, moist logs. So, but they're stayed nice and straight on the stacking pile up there. So they should make good spindles. Now I've cut a whole lot of wood since I sharpened that blade. So this blade is needing a little bit of sharpening. So soon I'll take care of that when I get a chance. But for right now, all I want to do is get these cut and get them put into the garage. I'll plane them tomorrow. I'm not going to plane them today. And then the rest of this stuff that's a little narrow is scrap. I could have probably got an extra board out of here if I wouldn't have trimmed the top off. But I'll be honest with you, I have so much wood up there, so much red oak, that I'm not even worrying about it. I actually need kindling for firewood, and I'm going to use this stuff for kindling for myself. Okay, so that's about all I'm going to use the sawmill for today. But I got to go cut all these down to 4-foot lengths, and then after I cut that, then I can plane them into spindles. So got a pretty good pile there. Let's see here. Oh boy, there's probably 60 spindles there. So I'm getting close to what I need. I need about 100. I have around 90 or so. So I'm going to have to bring a couple more boards down later and cut them. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on, but what I do is I set the table saw out there, and then I take the miter saw that's in here and set it on it, and then go ahead and cut. So out of those boards that I had there, I got 75 good, or let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 43 good spindles. Okay, there was one that was split. So that gives me 75 altogether spindles that I need towards the thing. I need about 100, maybe a little bit more. So another stack of wood like that, and that'll be good. So anyway, that's what I was working on Sunday, and it's only just to give you an idea of how early I was up this morning, it's only 20 after 10, and I've done all that stuff, and I've had it for a Sunday. I'm going to go up and see how the guy's making out up there, and then I'm going to take it easy. I think I'll take Sally out for lunch today. Have a good one, guys.